What is going on, guys? Back with another video. We've made it to April, and April is a month which I expect to be volatile. Of course, this is the month where the tariffs will be put into place, and I do expect some more volatility, but I do believe a lot of this negative news in terms of the tariffs is already priced into the market in terms of altcoins. Many altcoins are pretty much at their lows, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list on some low cap projects, and these are going to be projects which are under 100 million market cap but over 10 million. I will be making a separate video for micro cap projects which are under $10 million, and believe me, there's a lot of projects in that list. A lot of projects have broke under the $10 million market cap level. So anyway, guys, let's get into this. I'm going to rank these projects, around 40 different projects, and we've got a range of different narratives. We've got AI, RWA, gaming, deep in, layer ones, memes, gaming. So let's get into it, guys. So the first one on the list is Chain GPT, which I think is overall a very solid fundamental AI project. Again, a huge range of products which they offer on the platform. You've got, trading tools, you've got infrastructure, you've got even likes of meme generators, I believe, artwork generators, AI generation, and they also offer a launchpad on top of that. Very strong listings for this as well, and the team continue to develop. And again, that is one of the most important things, guys. Whatever you look at, you want to know that the project is continuing to develop. In terms of dilution, minimal on this as well. I think nearly 70% of the tokens are currently out. Very healthy trading volume on this as well. And, I do think this will make, a very, very good comeback. Around 60 million market cap, where can this go? I believe this can potentially give you a 20x. One of the best AI projects overall. So for me, this is going to go into the A tier. Next, we have a gaming project, GFAL. Again, pretty much at the bottom. I think it's only around 30 or 40% from the lows. And what I like about GFAL, why I think it could be a good buy at these levels, of course, gaming is dead currently, but GFAL have got a very good roadmap for 2025. Good marketing plans, new game releases, and overall just looking to improve, the overall project, more listings, that sort of thing. In terms of where it can go from here, in terms of where I'd rank it, I think it's come down a good amount. It is under 30 million in market cap. For me, I think this is a good option for a game project. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Next, we have AGI, another good, solid AI project in my opinion. Various different AI agents, and these are high quality AI agents which can do a variety of different tasks. Of course, we've seen AI agents have a tough time, but AGI has held up pretty well over the past sort of month or so. It is up around 30%. It is a bit higher in market cap. It is around 100 million. So in terms of the returns, of course, they're not going to be as lucrative as some of the other picks. I still think this is a good, solid pick. I'm going to put this in the B tier. Next on the list, we have Gunzilla. Now, this token, a lot of people were waiting for this for a very, very long time. And, people are saying, is this going to kickstart the gaming run? Potentially. But of course, in terms of an investment, I never recommend to buy in on, the launch. And, in terms of the tokenomics, they are not the best. And, in terms of the vesting schedule, I don't know it fully, but the fully diluted valuation is over 600 million. Current market cap is around 30 million. So huge amount of tokens to come into circulation. And at this stage of the in this stage of the market, I was going to say bull market, but, I think the main altcoin season is still to come. So, we've got around 5 or 6% in circulation. And for me, guys, I just do not think this is a good buy. It could be a good trade, when we see influencers start to shill it. But in terms of long term, I think there is far better plays to get into. Based AI, now this has been frustrating, very tough time. It's down over 70% over the past couple of months. Of course, we've seen, similar things across the board with AI and AI agents, but the team pretty much went silent for over a month. They have come back, and they are sort of developing, but I think a lot of people have lost trust in it. And for me, I think there's better projects out here. Of course, it is a small market cap, it is under 30 million, it could pump, but for me, I think there's better options to invest into. Pinlink, another RWA project, huge backers, the likes of Alex Becker, Elio Trades, deep in marketplace. And do I think this is a good buy? Of course, it is a little bit higher in market cap. It is around $70 million in market cap, but it does have huge backers. It's got big people who will continue to push this out. Offers different products. GPU, high performance computing power, and different storage capabilities, cloud storage, that sort of thing. So definitely has a use case. So it could definitely perform well, but it is a bit higher in market cap. So I think the returns aren't going to be as big as some of the other projects, but I can still see this doing well. I'll put this in the B tier. Next on the list, we have Altura. Now, this is another sort of gaming project, infrastructure, NFTs, that sort of thing, which I think, again, has also had a pretty tough time. We've seen, this come down massively. We did see this rally very hard, and since then, just like everything, it has come down significantly. I do think it's a good level to DCA, very solid project. And for me, I'm going to put this in the B tier. If you want something, you want gaming, you want NFTs, also within AI as well, I think Altura is overall a decent project to get into. Next on the list, we have another small cap in the form of Parcel. This is an RWA based project on Solana, I believe. And in terms of where this can go, it isn't one of my most favorite projects, but I do think it has a very good use case in terms of real estate. You can also provide liquidity as well with different pools, and people can earn fees from these pools as well. It's backed by Solana. Also, I believe it's backed by Coinbase as well. I think it's on Coinbase. I'm not too sure. In terms of an investment, I do think it's a good project overall. I think in terms of dilution, there is a small amount of dilution to occur. I'm going to put this in the B tier. I think a good, solid project if you want some, Solana ecosystem exposure as well, backed by the Solana Foundation. So I think overall it's a good project. I think it's pretty small market cap, around 20 million. So it could definitely perform well. Next, we have Peak Network, Deepen project, which I do like. I think this can perform well. The only downside with this, or one of the main downsides, is the tokenomics. Heavy dilution to occur, and it is also pretty high in market cap, around 100 million. But I do still think it has potential. I'm going to put this in the C tier just because of the tokenomics, but again, it is still a decent project. Next, we've got Supra, a new fresh layer one. A lot of hype is around this project, but it has had a bit of a tough time over the past sort of month or so. It is down, I think, over 50%. And is this a good opportunity to buy in? It is around $70 million in market cap. Healthy trading volume. Listings do need to improve. I think they've got Bybit, Mexi, and Gate.io, also KuCoin. So we do need to see more listings because the team has said they want to be on the main tier one listings. In terms of investment, I think again a very solid product, very solid project. Very fast layer one, and they've got a lot of projects which are looking to build on their ecosystem. I'm going to put this in the B tier. I will do some more research into it, but I think overall, if you want a new layer one, of course, layer ones are very cheap currently. I think Supra could be a good project to get into. So the first meme on this list is going to be Ponky. Again, meme coins have had a tough time. The reason I like Ponky, guys, is the fact of its community. I think it has probably the best, YouTube, the best TikTok, the best Instagram, very relatable content. They've also got merch on the website as well. I do think at these levels, this is a good buy. And for me, I'm going to put this in the B tier. I think meme coins will have a comeback, and you want to get into the projects which have, these sort of diehard communities behind them. So for me, a very good overall project. Next, we have AI Tech, another AI project which has had a very, very huge sell-off. It is down massively. I think this is now under 40 million market cap, which is insane. So am I still bullish on AI Tech? Do I still think it can perform well? I do still think this has good potential. Very minimal dilution from this as well. Huge use case, with their high performance computing center. Real solution in terms of looking to keep this computing power within Europe. Stopping again outsourced to the USA. They also have a launchpad and different other various tools as well on the platform, AI agents as well. So for me, I think a very solid overall AI project, which I think is at very good levels to accumulate. Very good trading volume. The team continue to develop. For me, I still think this is a very solid buy. I'm going to put this in the A tier. I think, it's a very good pick in my opinion. Next on the list, we have another RWA project in the form of Proppy. Now, this is an older project, but they have been consistent with the developments, with the updates. They've been working throughout the bear market, and that is why I still think this is a decent pick. They also integrate AI within the real estate, so again, it gives you sort of cross narratives. Very good partnerships with this project as well, and I think overall it is a pretty good AI project. Very good listings on board. They're also on base as well, and again has very healthy trading volume. For me, I do like this. I think I'm going to put this in the B tier. I do think there are better RWA projects, which we will get into very soon. But overall, solid project, and it's stood the test of time in terms of being around for many years. Next, we have one of the, well, in my opinion, one of the better RWA projects I was talking about, PropChain. Now, this is such a steal of a project, guys, at these levels. This market cap is very small. This is around $15 million in market cap. And the properties that they offer on their platform, on the prop.com platform, are out of this world. These are luxury, mansions with sort of emphasis within the United Arab Emirates. They've also got some in Europe, also within Mexico as well. And huge use case, a very credible team. They've got audits from huge, auditing firms. And they've got a real use case in terms of PropChain Ventures, PropChain Cloud, huge partnerships, and a real sort of company which are generating real revenue. For me, guys, this is a very solid pick, and I think it's going to continue to perform well. They're gaining loads of partnerships. They know how to market, and for me, the only thing they do need to maybe improve on is the listings, which I do think is going to come. Another very solid RWA project is Bricken, and this is even smaller in market cap than PropChain. Now, this is another good project. They do have some sort of regulatory compliance within Europe, I believe, and this has come down massively, nearly 60% over the past couple of months. For me, at the current market cap, which is around $10 million, this is another very solid buy. The only thing they need to improve on is the listings. I think the only main listing they've currently got is MEXC. So, if they do improve on that, this would be, an A tier project. But again, those exchange listings are going to be a catalyst for this project to perform, long term. So anyway, guys, let's continue to get through this video. So next is Myria, another gaming project which has it's very low in price. I think this is like 20 million or even lower in market cap, and it's had a hard time, right? But we all know gaming's dead. We all know gaming's quiet across the board. This is a similar aspect. For me, Myria is a solid project. Again, the team is very credible. They've got a good sort of a catalog of games on the platform. They do need to make more games from Myria Studios. I think they've got Meta Rush. I think that's their main game. But they do also have the mini games, and the main thing is they're continuing to develop. Even if this is at a slow pace, the team hasn't just abandoned, the project altogether. And I think at these levels, this could be a very good buy, which could definitely perform in the long run. So for me, I'm going to put this in the B tier because obviously the price action has been pretty poor. But the team are continuing to develop. They've got a good community behind them as well. So for me, there's no reason that this can't go on to perform well. Next on the list, we have another layer one, A0, and this project has been a disappointment. And at this stage, it looks as if it's going to go to zero, just continues to drop off. I don't know what's going on with this project, and it has been very disappointing. And what can you really do, guys? Sometimes you get this where the project just continues to drop off, and then sometimes out of nowhere, these projects can pump 200, 300, 400%. I do think A0 has the capabilities to do that, to pull that off. But at this level, it's just been a very big disappointment, and they do need to really, pick up the pace with the developments. I'm going to put this in the C tier. I think they really do need to step up their developments. Next, Nakamoto Games, another gaming project. Huge catalog of games, good partnerships, very small market cap, decent exchange listings as well. And a lot of these gaming projects are at similar market caps, so it's ultimately your choice what you pick. This is around 20 million. The only thing with Nakamoto, it is an older project, but it's one of those older projects which has continued to develop. For me, this is going to go into the B tier, a very good project overall, which can give you some good returns. Next, another gaming project, Mavia, again, similar level. We've seen what happened with Mavia, guys. We saw that massive price surge all the way up to, I think close to, 40 million or even higher potentially. I'm not too sure. But at these levels, is this still a good buy? It has come down again. It has come down back to, sort of similar levels. I do still think this has potential. I'm going to put this in the B tier. The teams come back, they continue to develop, they're pushing out updates, new listings. They've been relisted on Binance Futures. So again, Mavia could definitely perform. Next, another game project, MetaKid. Another project I do like. I do think this is another game project which, when the game run comes, this is going to perform well. A very similar market cap to the other projects in this list. The only thing they need to improve is the listings. I don't think they have many good listings. Volume's good on this, and there's good influences behind this. I'm going to also put this in the B tier also, but I do think there are better gaming projects to invest into. Next on the list, guys, Aught. Now, Aught is a gem, right? Simple as that. This is one of the best overall projects I can think of, and not just that it's one of my main holdings. I think when you look at the project, when you look at what they're doing, when you look at the partnerships, they're working with some huge companies, the likes of Dell, Lenovo, Seagate, and also big companies within China. They've also got, the nodes continue to increase. And for me, this is a project which I can see giving some huge returns. This is going straight into the S tier. They're also looking to potentially burn a huge amount of tokens. I think something like close to 1 billion, which would be insane for that project. So for me, guys, you can see my other videos on Auto. This is a very good project. Fundamentally very strong. Huge use case, different narratives. They offer storage. They've got their own sort of data hub, and they're also going to launch the computing platform, which will basically offer GPU services, that sort of thing. They've also got AI agents, and you can run nodes on this as well, and earn some passive income. So for me, very good pick, and for me, it's a no-brainer at these levels. Next on the list is Carrot, another game project which has also had a tough time. They've got huge updates with this. We've been integrated with, Xbox, I believe. Big influences on board with Carrot as well, which are going to push this project. 20 million market cap. I do think this is also a good buy. And again, guys, you can pretty much take your pick in terms of these, game projects. I think Carrot is very good, very strong, and can definitely perform from here. So, guys, I'm going to pick up the pace with this list. Veracity. Everyone's waiting for the POV token migration. And we've seen the price really struggle with Veracity, but the reason I still hold Veracity, the reason I still like Veracity is because the community behind them is massive, and they do have the power to continue to push this. I'm also going to put this in the B tier. I think it's still overall a good project. Next, Natix. This is a deep in project. Geo mapping for different smart cars like Tesla, that sort of thing. Good use case. They've also got products which people can buy, so they've got a revenue source. I'm going to put this in the B tier. I think good deep in project. It's just deep in, and that whole sort of geo mapping with cars isn't a narrative which is too exciting for too many people, but I do think it can definitely make a comeback. Next, Propbase. Propbase is another RWA project, which I think is one of the best overall projects out there. Huge updates. You've got a big roadmap coming. Very good properties listed, across sort of Southeast Asia. Very good token utility on this as well. And you can stake this, and you can gain allocation to some of the properties to basically gain some passive income. Huge community as well. Also on Base and Aptos. For me, this is also an A tier project. I think PropChain and Propbase are some of the best overall RWA projects that you can invest into. Next, we've got Open Fabric AI. This is a project which has also seen a tough time. We did see some nice price action, a nice little price surge with this. I do think this is overall good. They've got different sort of apps, different applications on this platform. So good project overall. It doesn't really get too much attention, but I do think this could definitely make a comeback. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Tars AI, another AI project. Everyone was bullish on this. Everyone was saying this is going to go to the billions, and it's come down massively. I'm not too sure what it's currently at. I think it's around 30 million. And the main thing is it's sort of backed by Solana, and it's they continue to develop. They've got good partnerships. They know how to market. I think this could also make a comeback. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Trias, this is going straight into D tier. The migration in terms of the NetX mainnet, they've just been, playing the community about, and a lot of people's tokens are stuck in migration. No one knows when the tokens are going to be available to trade. I would avoid Trias at all costs. I think it's a scam, and it's a shame because it did have potential, but I would avoid this at all costs. Maneki, meme coins are pretty much dead currently, and Maneki, I'm still bullish on it. I still think it does have potential from here. Very small market cap. It's come down massively. I think this is around, just over 10 million. For me, I think it's still a good meme, and they've got good sort of partnerships, as you've seen. I've talked about it many times with football teams. I'm going to put this in the B tier. I think if you're looking for a good meme, I think Maneki is still a good option, and I think it will definitely have a comeback at some point. Clearpool, RWA project, very good partnerships with this as well. It is a bit higher market cap, but they do know how to market, and they continue to develop and gain more and more partnerships. It is an older project, but as I've said, I still think it does have good potential. Around 90 million market cap. I'm going to put this in the C tier. Very good project in terms of RWA, and I think it can definitely perform on the long run. Ancient H, another gaming project, which I think can, definitely perform from here. It's held up pretty strong, and it does show some good price action out of nowhere. It did see a big sort of price surge. We saw this, rally pretty hard. I think it did like 2x, over 2x, 3x. Decent gaming project. I'm going to put this in the B tier. Cock Inu, I think this is the main meme on AVAX. Of course, AVAX is pretty quiet currently, but I do expect it to make a comeback. I'm going to put it in the C tier for now. Next, Alright Chain, this is an AI project. I think this is another solid overall project. Team is also developing, continue to develop, and where can this go from here? It is still pretty high in market cap. I think this is around $50 million in market cap. I think this is, I'm going to put this in the B tier. I think there's better AI projects, but with sort of the different aspects they offer, I think it can definitely perform on the long run. Lithium, a layer one, small cap layer one. We all know the score with layer ones currently. We've seen struggle, and Lithium isn't the only layer one which is struggling. A lot of people are calling this a scam currently. I still think this is a good project, and I think they continue to develop in the team developing. And I think when the narrative shifts with layer ones, Lithium is going to pull back. So I'm going to put it in the B tier for now. Seedify, another sort of gaming, slash launchpad, get good sort of allocation to different sort of projects which will launch, and might not be a bad time because, of course, we're now expecting the bull run to extend to potentially the end of 2025. The only thing is you do need a lot of tokens to gain, worthwhile allocation. I'm going to put it in the B tier, but I think, there's better options in terms of launchpads. A lot of projects offer launchpads, the likes of ChainGPT, AI Tech, and even some of the smaller projects as well, like DexCheck. Next, we've got a meme on Sui. This is one of the main Sui memes, and I think Sui memes will have a big comeback. Lofi, which I think is a good Sui meme. I'm going to put this in the B tier. Vilas, this is a layer one, which is very old, and the team have sort of just gone very, very quiet. I used to be bullish on this, and now I think it's gone. I think it's dead. Core AI, another AI project deep in, offering, different products with GPU. You can rent them. You can also rent them off to gain some sort of passive income. I think they've also got some good sort of things in place in terms of token burns. I think this is a good project, very small market cap, around $10 million, and I think it will definitely have a comeback at some point. Trader Joe or Joe, main DEX on AVAX. I think AVAX is going to perform well, and this is, of course, the main DEX. I'm going to put this in the B tier. Warjack, another sort of OG meme, which has also had a big sell-off. I'm going to put this in the C tier because I think there is better memes. So, yeah, guys, I did drag on a bit more than I wanted to, but it's just to give you an idea of, some low caps under 100 million, which you can potentially research into. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know some other, projects under 100 million, but over 10 million, which you're bullish on. And, yeah, hope you enjoy the video. We'll be doing a similar one on microcaps, and believe me, the microcap list is even bigger. And there's a lot of projects to go through. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for the next video.